Do you want a meal that pleases everyone, is easy to make, and comes together in one pot? Goulash. Heat some olive oil in a large Dutch oven over medium-high heat. Add in some onion and cook that for a couple minutes. Traditional Hungarian goulash is what we consider like a beef stew. This is the American-style goulash, the ultimate one-pot meal. So ours has ground beef instead of like chunks of beef in there. Now that these onions are softened, add in the ground beef. And we'll just cook that, stirring occasionally until it's all good and brown. Now I'll add in the bell pepper and garlic and cook that for a couple minutes. Season it up with a little salt and pepper. I'm using a really lean ground beef, so I don't have to drain it out. If you're using something more like a ground chuck or ground round, you might want to drain it before you proceed with your bell pepper and garlic. Now add in Italian seasoning, paprika, a little Worcestershire, and some seasoned salt. I'm gonna stir that around for a couple minutes to wake it up. Next, I'm adding in the tomatoes. What keeps this dish super budget friendly is that we use canned tomatoes. This is gonna create the sauce and stretch this dish out. You can do 2 smaller cans or 1 large can of diced tomatoes and tomato sauce. Add in a couple bay leaves and 2.5 cups of beef broth. You can also just use water. The beef is just gonna give it a little more of a hearty flavor. Bring that to a simmer, cover it, and let it cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. Next, stir in the pasta and bring it back up to a simmer. Cover it and cook it for just about 10 to 15 minutes or until the pasta is al dente. Yeah, the pasta has absorbed a lot of that liquid. It's more like a stew, less like a soup. Remove it from the heat for the finishing touch. This ingredient is purely optional. I see it in a lot of American versions of goulash. Some cheese. I'm going in with a cup of sharp white cheddar. You could do mozzarella. You could do Parmesan. This is what I'm doing. I also love goulash because it's one of those meals that satisfies both adults and kids. My kids would tear this up. A little freshness with some fresh parsley. Perfect bite down. This is really the ultimate comfort food. It's saucy, it's meaty. A little bit goes a long way. The perfect way to feed an army. Traditional classic goulash.
Oh, are you okay?